Okay, think about this for a second. You grab a coffee, you sit down, and in the time it takes you to drink it, your entire city, everything and everyone you know is wiped clean off the map. It sounds impossible, but today we're getting into the absolutely shocking story of the 20-minute tempest. I know, it sounds like something straight out of a Hollywood disaster movie, right? But here's the thing. This actually happened. So the huge question we're tackling is this. How in the world can the forces of nature unleash that much power, that fast, that a whole thriving city can just vanish? To really understand it, we've got to go back and see what life was like just moments before it all changed.
You know, to really feel the impact of the shock, you first have to feel the calm. So let's rewind the clock. Let's go back to the morning of the storm, which was, by all accounts, a completely, totally normal day.
This place was alive. I mean, we are talking about a seriously vibrant community. The harbor was packed with ships, the markets were just overflowing with people, the economy was booming. This was not some sleepy little town. No, this was a major hub, just humming with life. And this is the part that gives you chills. Every single person who survived remembers the exact same thing. A gorgeous, clear blue sky at noon. There were no warnings, no sirens, no feeling that something bad was about to happen. Just kids playing in the street and the ordinary, happy sounds of a city doing its thing.
So, the million-dollar question, how do you go from perfect blue skies to total annihilation? Well, this is where the story pivots, and we have to look at the incredibly rare science that was at play. Because this was no ordinary storm, not even close.
The villain in our story has a name, a flash derecho. Now look, most of us have heard of a thunderstorm, maybe even seen a tornado on the news. But a derecho is a whole other kind of animal. Seriously, forget the swirling funnel. Picture a massive, invisible tsunami of wind, hundreds of miles wide, just plowing forward at unbelievable speed. It's like a hurricane's power, but it forms and hits before you even know what's happening.
So, for something this destructive to happen, you need the perfect recipe for a catastrophe. And it took three very specific things all coming together at the exact same moment. First, you need an incredibly unstable atmosphere. Think of it like a coiled spring just ready to explode. Second, you have to feed it with a ton of warm, wet air, usually from the tropics. That's its fuel. And then number three, you need the trigger. A powerful jet stream dips down and acts like a giant slingshot, just launching this entire storm system forward.
And boy did it launch. The second those three ingredients clicked into place, the countdown began. And what happened next was 20 minutes of pure, unimaginable chaos that would change absolutely everything. Let's walk through this timeline. I mean, just look at this timeline. It is brutally efficient. At minute 0, the first winds kick up. You probably just think, storm's rolling in. But just 5 minutes later, the entire city is plunged into total darkness. Power's gone. By the 10-minute mark, the noise is deafening as buildings literally start to get torn apart. 15 minutes in, it's absolute peak fury. And then at 20 minutes, it just stops. An awful, unnatural silence.
Let's put this number into perspective, okay? A Category 5 hurricane, the worst of the worst, starts at 157 miles per hour. So we're talking about that level of destructive power. But here's the kicker. With a hurricane, you usually get days of warning. This was an ambush, a complete sneak attack by the atmosphere. And the result of that ambush? Near total destruction. This thing didn't pick and choose neighborhoods. It took the whole city. A 90% destruction rate. Just think about that. For every 10 buildings standing that morning, only one was left by that afternoon. The city, for all practical purposes, was just gone.
You know, data is one thing, but this quote from a survivor, it really hits you right in the gut. The sky turned black in an instant. It wasn't rain, it was the world itself being thrown at us. Can you even imagine that? It's not just water falling from the sky, it's everything. It's pieces of your neighbor's house, it's trees, it's the very fabric of your town flying at you sideways.
So, after the fury comes the quiet. And it's in that heavy, awful silence that the true scale of the horror starts to sink in. This is the part of the story where people had to crawl out from whatever wreckage they could find and face what was left.
This quote from one of the first responders on the scene. Wow. It paints such a haunting picture. That change from a deafening roar to just the sound of dripping water and people crying for help, that is devastating. And that last line, we didn't recognize our own streets? I mean, how do you even begin to process that level of destruction? If the quotes give you the feeling, the data, well, the data gives you the cold, hard facts, and they are brutal. You've got a city of 50,000 people,
15,000 homes are now less than 1,500. The main bridge you need to get in and out? Gone. The hospital you desperately need? Wiped out. That NA for population? That isn't just a missing number. It represents a community that was shattered, scattered, and changed forever.
A tragedy on this scale can't just be a story in a history book. It has to be a wake-up call. And it was. In the aftermath, scientists and engineers put this storm under a microscope, obsessed with making sure a surprise attack like this could never happen again.
And believe it or not, a lot of progress came out of this awful event. Our ability to predict these kinds of fast-moving storms got way, way better. Building codes were completely rewritten to handle extreme winds. The whole idea of a national early warning system really took off because of this. In a very real sense, this storm became the ultimate what-if scenario, the ghost that every modern disaster plan is designed to fight.
Which brings us right here to our final, really critical question. We've learned the lessons. We have better technology, we have stronger buildings. But the climate is changing, and we're seeing more and more extreme, unpredictable weather. This storm was a rare event, but rare doesn't mean impossible. So I'll leave you with this to think about. Have we really done enough? Are we truly ready for when, not if, the next one forms?